And we're live.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Let's see who's in the house tonight. We have Barb. Go rest. Stay awesome and go rest. Go back to bed. We have Double D. We have Melissa. Virgo Farmer. The Bud Files. Adrian. Okay. So, guys, I would like you to meet Amy from WhatThe Paranormal.
Hello, everyone.
She's been on the show in the past, but since all these new subscribers in, well, I decided to invite her back on the show so you get to know her even more.
And I'm honored.
Thank you. And thank you for accepting the invitation.
Oh, you're very welcome. I was excited.
Amy, who?
Fergal, my favorite farmer.
Okay. So I always start the show with the same question for everyone is how did you get to name your channel WhatThe Paranormal?
It took us about a week to come up with. We tried all different kind of things. We wanted to put me and Laney's names in it. And nothing sounded good. Nothing stood out. And so we were thinking about things we always say, like catchphrases or, whatever. And something we always say whenever we're out investigating, especially if we hear like a big noise or something like that, we always say, "What the?" And then you can fill in the blank. But we didn't want to put the cuss word in there or any, bad words in there. So we just said, "What the?" and then question mark because they could fill in the blank themselves. Like, what are they trying to say? And then, of course, the paranormal. But that bit us in the butt for the first year because everyone called us what the question mark paranormal. And so that was not the purpose of it. Now everybody knows us by what the paranormal, um, but yeah, that's how we come up with it. And we wanted something that stood out, and I think it did because everyone commented on the name. And so we did what we set out to do.
Okay. So you're a mother and daughter team
Yes.
channel?
Yes. Me and Lainey.
Okay. And you do everything together, like your investigations and stuff like that?
Yes. We have never done a single. I've done one challenge, a 30-minute alone challenge without her, but she was right outside the cemetery. But we've done every single thing together. She doesn't like getting on a lot of the live streams and stuff like that. She likes the investigating part of it, so that's her main deal. But as far as investigations go, we do everything together.
Me too, Melissa. I love
Thank you, Melissa.
I do too. So guys, if you have any questions for Amy, put them in all caps so I can see them better. Okay. And so you go out and investigate with Lainey. Then you come home and you're the one that's doing the editing and stuff like that.
Yes, me and Lainey will start out as soon as we get home. Normally, I never wait till the next day. As soon as we get home, we put the footage in and we start watching it. That's kind of how we've always been. We can't wait to see what we got. So me and her will sit down and we'll watch the initial footage and go through it, and we'll kind of mark stuff down that we hear or see, and then I'll go through and edit. But she's part of that part two. She just doesn't do the actual editing, but she kind of puts her points in of what she wants to see and what we should highlight on and stuff like that. So that's the purpose of us watching the video together before we even start editing, is just to get a general idea of what we want to include and what we don't want to include.
Okay. Um, how did you get to start like your channel and investigate? Like,
Well,
what got you to do this?
we've always done like investigations, and we love going and checking out creepy looking places and stuff like that. We never filmed any of it. We just did it for our own personal time. But we were going through a really rocky time at that time, and we were staying at home a lot. And Lainey started watching Omar on um, YouTube, and then she started having me watch the videos with her. And we watched for several, I'd say probably a couple of weeks, just nonstop Omar videos. And then I started asking her questions about, like, hey, I wonder how they got into that, because I had seen YouTube videos before, but not to that extent. And she was like, oh, anybody can do it. And I was like, really? Anybody can just make a channel and do it. And she said, yeah, we could make one if we wanted to. By that night, we had a channel up. We were still trying. It was under Amy Edwards when we first started, but we were trying to come up with a name and a design and everything. And we decided, hey, we can go film the stuff that we do because it's the same exact thing. So that's how we got into it.
Oh, very interesting. Virgo wants to know. Whoops, no, not that one. Where is it? Where is it? Here. Amy, do you have an aversion of spiders?
Um, Spiders can kiss it. I do not like spiders at all. And of course, we go into abandoned places and the woods and all this that has crap tons of spiders. So it's probably not the best of places for me to be with a fear of spiders. But no, I don't do spiders at all.
Have you ever went to a place where there was full of spiders?
Yes. And I believe Zach from Rooted Expedition, I believe every single place we go to with him is covered with spiders. But the murder house, that place was, oh, there was so many spiders in that place. And that again was Zach. Um, Rob, Roberta, and Patricia. Um, but yeah, this that place was my biggest fear.
Okay. So the boys, I'm going to call them boys, with their Twinkie attitude
The
again.
brats, the
Yeah,
brats.
the brats. My brothers, the brats.
Mhm.
Can you explain for the new people what's Twinkie all about?
So me and my sister, um, April from Institute Paranormal Investigators, we call each other the Twinkies because we're just like twins. We do everything alike, so we are the Twinkies. And so my bratty brothers there have decided it's hilarious to just buy a bunch of Twinkies and eat them, or just send us random pictures of them holding a Twinkie. Um, so yeah, they love to torture us with the Twinkie thing.
Oh, here's Tex, what he said. Yeah, she went to Brown Springs and spiders there
Yeah,
too.
there's a lot of spiders there as well. High techs.
Okay, because you're also into cryptid
Hmm.
also,
Yeah.
and you went quite a few times Bigfoot hunting.
Hmm. I was
Mm.
never really into the cryptid side of it until I met Tex, which is Trinity Paracryptic Research.
Mm.
Um, and I interviewed him on my channel one night, and we found out that we had went to a place that is known for cryptid stuff there, and we were there just for the paranormal part of it. But as soon as we posted that video, so many guys were yelling at us saying, why would you go there by yourselves, blah blah blah. And we're just like, we go to haunted places all the time. And they were like, no, you have no idea where you were at. And so I had started talking to Tex about it, and I interviewed him on my channel one night, and just I fell in love with the whole aspect of it. And I knew there was something different other than paranormal. I knew it was still part of the paranormal field, but it was just a whole nother um, aspect that I hadn't even looked into yet. And so I was curious. And so Tex said he was going out on an expedition out at Brown Springs, and he invited me and Layne to come. And after that first night, we were hooked. We loved it. It's an adrenaline rush like no other. And so I definitely will go Bigfoot hunting or cryptid hunting anytime with Tex and them. So they have an amazing team.
Yeah. They have lots of knowledge too
Yes,
on
they do.
the
I just nod my head a lot when they talk. I'm just like, uh-huh, I know what you're saying. And then
Okay.
I have to look up most of it.
Here, but Rican, he wants to know what can we expect at the reunion. But first of all, I have to say every year
Mhm.
you organize a reunion for the YouTubers.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about it a bit more?
Yeah, so we have the YouTube fam reunion, and this is something that me and my sister, um, Twinkie, did. Um, we started it 5 years ago, and every year we go to a different state, and we stay there for a week. And any YouTubers, creators, even fams, people that don't create that just want to come meet their favorite YouTubers, can come, and you all stay at the same hotel, and you just go out and film and get to know each other, pick each other's brains about editing, anything really. You're able to talk face to face. And we go out and do a lot of different things together. We have an awards banquet every year. And this year, I believe the guys are nervous because we're going to be doing a lot of challenges this year. And so the guys have one challenge in particular that they're not excited about. So we're going to leave that. People have heard us talking about it some, but the videos are going to be interesting to watch.
They'll go viral.
Yeah.
Okay, here we have a question. What's your favorite piece of equipment?
So my running joke is that Layne is my favorite piece of equipment because I listen to everything she says. Yes, I do most of the time. If she says something's really bad, sometimes I'm still curious and I still want to go in and see for myself. But Layne is a walking ghost tool. But as far as tools go, I believe the grid light. I love the grid light, the K2 meter, and I love the necrophonics. And if I'm not using necrophonics, I'm using the SB7. I love that spirit box. Um, there's not really a whole lot of tools I do because it's hard for me to film and pay attention. So when I throw a lot of tools in the mix, um, so on an investigation, I normally use the ghost hunting tool, which is an app we've been using for the last 5 years. And I'll recommend it to anyone. It's a word app with a word database. Um, but I've gotten a lot of validation from it. So as far as sitting at home, the grid light, I love the grid light.
Yeah, the grid light's fun.
Yeah.
We're talking about Twinkie. Here's
Hi,
Twinkie.
Twinkie.
Hello, April. Okay, let me go down the chat. I'm a little behind, so let's see. Okay, okay. There's no questions. So
Y'all ask questions.
out here, well, I've been told that too, but I think it was meant.
You're not a tool, Tex, but you do have some good abilities as well. So be
Yeah.
proud of that.
So what can we expect in a few months from here on your channel?
Um, well, we have a couple of big places that we're going to next weekend. Um, and that's going to be crazy. We've been wanting to get into these two places for a while now. They have a lot of history and they have some of the same history. So I will say that it has a lot to do with Bonnie and Clyde. It has a lot to do with, let's see, who else was it, Lady? Uh, oh, Lord. There's a lot of old, it's more of like an old Western type feel that you would think of when you think of Texas and Oklahoma. Um, and so these places have been on our bucket list for a long time. They were closed for a bit, and now they're back open and doing letting people rent the place. So we're going to be doing a couple of overnights at some really haunted hotels, And we got a lot of big things coming, but the main thing you'll see in the next couple of months is a lot of promotion for the trip. Um, we have a couple of awesome guests that's going to be coming up on the channel, and so I'm excited. It's going to be crazy.
Okay. Jenny wants to know what's one place you want to investigate and why?
I think the top on me and Twinkie's list both is Bobby Mackey's, and I know a lot of people are scared of that place, but I think it's how you go into it. You know, your intentions with it and everything that makes each investigation different. Um, we know how to protect ourselves really well, and we just want to go in and see if what everybody's getting there is true. I mean, I got to see it for myself before I can believe it, and that's with any place. But um, I really want to get there, and I would love to go to Alcatraz. I would love to do an overnight investigation there. And I know this will never happen because I will not get on a plane for this long, but I would love to go to Transylvania. I'd love to go to Dracula's castle. Um, just castles, any castles, I would love to go and do. Um, and I would also, uh, what's the place that you want to go to, Lainey? The one with the bones underneath Paris? Catacombs. Yeah, we want to go there as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Bat Rican, who's your favorite YouTuber?
I have so many favorite YouTubers that I can't put them all, but every single one of the people that's on my panel every week, that's the reason why they are on my panel every week is because they are some of my favorites. Omar will always be one of our number ones, um, just because he makes us feel good. You know, I love watching his videos, um, but not most of my favorite YouTubers are not even. Um, they don't even have that many subscribers. You know, so it's not how many buttered buns you have, it's the quality of your videos and the way you uh, put yourself out there. And so all the people that come to my chats and that are on my panels, they're all my absolute favorite. And yes, I see that, Barrick, and you said I just admitted you are, but yes, you are one of them.
Here, what's the secret place you've been or in scariest place? I can't read tonight. You've been or investigated.
As a lot of the places scare us. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we do get scared. Um, But I think the scariest place that I've been to is the Denver Cemetery. And I say that because it changes every single time we go. The activity's never the same, and it's paranormal, it's cryptid, it's just psychotic sometimes. But that's the only place that I've ever really gotten attacked. And it was such a crazy experience that um, I, it scared me bad. Like I was freaked out. Um, we still go back. We still love it. But yeah, that one night in particular was very scary.
Okay. Do you like investigating cemeteries?
Yes, I do. The older the better, I feel. Um, some of the cemeteries can be creepier than some of the abandoned buildings we go to.
Hmm.
And I believe there's a lot of activity there. There's a lot of lost souls there. And so, one, you get a lot of evidence. Two, sometimes you can help and help the spirit cross over, you know. So I just love the headstones, the tombstones. um I've always just found beauty in all of them, and the older they are, I think they're beautiful.
Okay. Denver Cemetery. That's where you went with April, right?
Yes, yes. Twinkie's been wanting to go there ever since we started going there. um and we took her out there. We met up with Zach, And the whole intention of that us going there was she was going to be doing a 30-minute alone challenge. That's where me and Zach did our 30-minute alone challenges. But something about that night was so off, and just you could feel the negativity so bad in there. Um, we really did not want her doing her alone challenge there. Um, and so finally, she said, "Okay, I won't do it." You could tell she really still wanted to do it, but I felt like, and so did Zach. And then finally, she felt it too, that if she would have been in there by herself, something bad would have happened. Um, but she loved the place, and it did not fail us that night. We had a lot of activity that night.
Yeah. That's a place that never fails.
Exactly.
Do you have like a lot of cemeteries nearby, or you have to try and dig them up somehow?
Well, we have some, growing up in a small town, you always do a lot of back roading and stuff. And there is a lot of private cemeteries here, some that we cannot get into. They are gated and they have no trespassing. Um, but there are some cemeteries around us that are now ghost towns, and all that's left is a cemetery. Um, so we have several of those, but I don't do the cemetery that we have here, our main cemetery. That's where a lot of our family is buried. I don't do that because there are a lot more current graves, and I don't want people that live in our town to get offended. So I try to be as respectful as possible, but a lot of these older cemeteries, I know they still have family out there, but they're less likely to see it or to be offended by it. Um, but we've driven hours to go to certain cemeteries, and they were just amazing.
Okay. Melissa, what is your first experience with the afterlife?
I kind of grew up in it, so there was a lot of stuff kind of thrown at us from all different directions. My family has a lot of different gifts, so I was, kind of raised around all that stuff. But my first experience was um, the first and only time I used a Ouija board. Um, and we ended up having something very negative come out. And we had a lot of experiences in the house itself, plus a lot of it, a very hard time getting rid of the Ouija board. We finally ended up having somebody let us give it to them. Um, and as soon as we did that, it was able to leave, but we tried throwing it away, burying it, burning it, and nothing worked. So, luckily we were able to give it to somebody. But yeah, that was my first time, and it wasn't a very good experience.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's see here. Um, so you wouldn't use a Ouija board to go investigate. I've saw many videos. They go and investigate, like, I don't know, an old morgue, and they put it right there on the table where they put the body, and
Yeah.
they start doing their thing there. You wouldn't be one of those that would do that.
No, and I have nothing against people that do use the Ouija board. That's their preference.
Yeah.
Um, I even have a hard time watching anybody do the Ouija board, because I believe that you can be watching a video and something could come through the video, and it can also disturb the things that are already in your own home. Um, I was 17 the last time I used a Ouija board, and I don't ever foresee me using one for any videos or anything. Um, Ouija boards do get a lot of views, just because people want to see, what's going on with them. But I believe in them, and I believe they are a gateway. And to me, it's a gateway to hell. Um, I know a lot of people use them. I don't say anything bad about them. That's, to each his own. But I will never use one. No,
How about Ouija board phone app?
I
You
have
can
not even
use
used one of
that.
those. No. Um,
That would be the same for you.
right. To me, it would be. The closest thing that we have in our home that is like a Ouija board is one of Laney's blankets, and it has the Christmas lights and the letters from the show. What is it, Laney?
What?
The show that your blanket's from.
What?
The show your blanket is from. Your
What
throw
blanket?
blanket with the Christmas lights and the letters.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things. That's the closest we've got to one of the things like that. But no, nothing like that I will use.
Okay, we got some new people in the house.
Hello.
The house is filling up. Okay. Do you have any special announcements for what's coming, or I don't know, for the
Um,
channel? Any changes?
let's see. Well, just mainly to be watching for the videos that we're gonna have coming up. Um, I'm hoping that we're gonna be able to get about 6 videos out of this whole entire trip.
Oh,
And they're gonna be awesome. And we may get more because we're gonna kind of break it down uh, some and do different types of investigations in the one places. But I have a video coming up probably tomorrow, and it is some of our best captures and best evidence that we've collected. Um, so I'm going to be premiering that sometime. Not sure if it's tomorrow or Sunday or what, but um, so I've got that coming up, and then we did release all the merch and hats and the raffle for the reunion. So all of that is out. We've also ended the voting for the YouTube Family Reunion banquet and the awards. And so all the we have the winners for each category. So I'm excited for that. The everyone we had so many people vote this year. It was unreal, and I'm really excited with the outcome of it. Um, it's a lot of different characters in there this year, so we're excited about that.
okay. Wow. Let's see if there's any questions that went by. Okay. Well, I'm really looking forward for the video tomorrow or after tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
okay.
excited.
Jenny's put Jenny's posting right here, Miss Giggles. That's Laney's other channel.
Yes.
Laura's saying congratulations to the winners.
Yeah. Congratulations to all the winners. It's exciting.
Okay. Oh, here, April. Hopefully, we'll hit over 100 people at the reunion this year.
I think this is going to be the biggest one yet.
How did you come up with the idea of holding a reunion?
Well, it started out. Cody had gotten me a room at the Stanley Hotel for my birthday. My birthday is not till September, but in May he had bought it because, and we were going to wait and go, but we decided just to go ahead and do it. Um, and so I started mentioning it online, and on the live streams that we were going to be going and meeting up with Rich and George. Um, and we were going to be going to the Stanley Hotel. Well, then Twinkie, um, she was like, "Oh, that would be awesome. I would love to go, there." And so she decided that she was going to come and we were going to meet up, and go investigate and stuff there too. But then we had several other people say, "Hey, well, I'd like to go." And so me and Twinkie started looking at cabins and stuff like that. And Twinkie found a cabin that was a little bit away from Denver, but it was up in the mountains. And so we just had a bunch of people pitch in. And I think we had like, what, 14 or 15 people in the cabin that night or that week. We ended up going, we were going to go for 2 or 3 days. We ended up going for a week. Um, Not everybody went to the Stanley Hotel, just a few of us, but the rest of us, during the week, we all went and did some investigations and all that. And so we decided we had so much fun doing it that year that we were going to do it again the next year, but we didn't want to be in the same state. So we decided we were going to pick a different state every year. And we would just kind of go along the time zones and make it fair for everyone. So every year we went, further, we started central, went to eastern, then western, central, eastern, it makes it easier. Um, but we get the hotels to get us a special deal to make it easier for everyone. And so yeah, it's definitely every year gets bigger and better. And we just keep adding new things uh, to it every year, and it's amazing.
Okay. Here, what's your favorite tool?
Um,
We we
for
went through.
home, grid light, and out and about, probably the ghost tool.
Okay. Oh, here. Who all would you take with you to make your Ghostbuster team?
Way too many of us to actually get a good investigation, that's for sure. Because I would not be able to not take everybody. But like I said before, all the people that I have on my panel every week, they're the ones that I absolutely love, and I trust them. I trust them with my life. I trust them with Laney's life, and so I would definitely have all the people that's on my panel every week, um, because I know you're all gonna have great input on anything that we talk about paranormal wise or investigating, and so that would be a definite.
Okay. Let's see if there's something else. Okay. One question I would like to know is most of us that know you know that you live in a haunted apartment. Did you know it was
Mhm.
haunted when you decided to
Yes.
rent, or you found out after?
My mom lived here first. She actually lived here a really long time ago. My oldest daughter was a baby then, and there was even activity happening then. Um, but when she moved over here this last time, uh, we would come over and we would hear stuff, and she'd tell me every night she would hear like people talking. It wasn't through the walls because where her apartment faces, there's only one neighbor, and that neighbor would not be home at night. She works at the hospital. Um, and so every time we would come over here, it was just like you could feel it. You could feel the energy. It was crazy. And so as soon as an apartment come open, we grabbed it because we figured, if you can't get out and investigate, you might as well be where you can investigate. And it definitely has not failed either. It's been crazy here.
Yeah. And plus, I think you brought something home too.
Yeah, I think we bring a lot of stuff home. We try to take precautions and stuff, but we do have one that has been here with us for a while, and he's really negative. And we do believe that we brought him home from. We're not sure if it's the Hill House or the Goatman's Bridge, but um, we have that little nasty booger, and then we have a couple others that we think has followed us home. And we do everything, before we leave an investigation. We do everything possible to keep that from happening. But sometimes you just can't help it. The spirit's going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah, okay. Was it at the Hill House that you took some other YouTuber's business card?
Yes,
And what
yeah,
happened?
that one. We ended up. Well, there's a dog outside my building. We ended up getting a really nasty spirit then, but it ended up being somebody that just wanted help crossing over. We believe. Um, but yes, I have a very strict rule: do not take anything from an investigation. Doesn't matter what it is. And I I don't know what the deal was that night, but there were some other YouTubers that had left their business card, and I was like, well, I want to get them so I can go check them out, maybe get in touch with them, see if they want to go investigate. Um, And that was a bad idea because I ended up taking several business cards home, and we had a nasty attachment for a little bit, me and Lainey both. And that was very hard to get rid of until we figured out what he wanted. And then there were several people on my live stream that night that ended up helping me get rid of him that night. And I was so glad that one was gone because he was nasty.
Can we know the YouTuber's card? Who it was?
I don't even remember who it was. And I don't even know where those cards are now. Um, I think I probably threw them away, hoping that maybe the spirit would follow, but it didn't. Um, but once I realized I brought them, I tried to get rid of them, and it didn't work. It did not work just to get rid of them.
Okay. So just innocently you said, I'll take a card. Like me when I went and I took a pile, a handful of
Yes.
rocks. It was, you know,
Hmm.
didn't think
Yeah.
someone would bother.
Right.
Okay. Here. What's your favorite ghost or spirit encounter? Oh, that's a good question.
That was the one where I did the Ouija board. That was the very first time I had actual like we did paranormal stuff. My parents talked about paranormal stuff. My grandfather, they're all Chickasaw Indian, so that stuff was always discussed. But as far as seeing it, um, because the Ouija board wasn't just us doing the Ouija board and things answering that was crazy. No, it was candles shot flames up to the ceiling that we were using. The table was shaking. The windows were rattling. Um, so yeah, it wasn't just the spirit making us think he was a young child and it was actually a demonic man. I don't think demons are men or women, but this thing was definitely a bad spirit. Um, Probably I wouldn't say go as far as saying a demon, but it was as close to a demon as you can get still being a human.
Okay. How do you get rid of bad spirits?
Well, that one, and a lot of times people mistake bad spirits for a spirit that just wants help. A spirit can scratch you, a spirit can pull your hair, a spirit can like push you. A lot of times that's just their way of getting your attention. And people automatically assume they're dealing with a demon or a negative spirit. That's not always the case. So you need to figure out what you're dealing with first. Because most spirits are just trying to get your attention. And demons are very far and few between. So if you're watching somebody that says they're getting a demon activity all the time, they're not. Demons are very rare. Um, but there's different ways of getting rid of a demon or a bad spirit. And sometimes you end up having to find a priest that can help you. But cleansing the home generally works if it's just a little nasty spirit. Um, you can do black salt rituals. There's several different rituals. And I believe whatever your intent is what's going to happen. So you don't have to be a pro at cleansing houses or anything like that, as long as your intention is cleansing the house. You have to believe in what you're doing, and you have to believe in the things you're using to get rid of the spirit. So there's a lot of different ways, and some are harder to get rid of than others.
Okay. So if I see like a dark figure, it's not necessarily a mean spirit or a demon.
Right, right.
It's just the way it appears.
Yeah, and you'll eventually figure it out. If you get a little scratch, or if things start violently happening, or there's a lot of really negative energy, and you can feel the energy. Like even if you don't have empath abilities at all, you can feel that negative energy. Um, but yeah, there's so much that it takes for them to get to you, the energy that they have. So, and a lot of times if things are happening boom 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 boom, you're probably messing with a very old spirit. one that's been gone for a really long time, one that has a lot of energy and that can probably do whatever it wants to. So you just kind of have to listen and watch the things that are going on around you.
Okay. I had a guest on my show last year, and he told me that he believes there are demons, in fact, but only 13 out of on the whole world, you know, and they're the ones from the Bible. That's what he told me, and I tend to believe most likely it could be that, don't you think?
I mean, it's hard to say exactly how many there is, but if you go by what the Bible says, then yes. Um, that's why I say demons are very few and far between. But you got all these people saying, "Well, I got rid of this demon." Now, if you talked about Ed and Lorraine Warren, they're definitely going to disagree with you because they believe they have taken away and gotten rid of several demons. Um, and it's hard to say whether that's true or not. Like, I believe that everyone has a right to their opinion about what's going on because there is no experts at all when it comes to paranormal. I believe you become an expert when you become a spirit. And then you're still going to have questions. You're still not going to know everything you need to know in the afterlife. Um, if you knew everything when you passed away, there wouldn't be so many lost souls. Um, so even after death, I don't think you become an expert. So right now we're just guessing. And any real investigator, they're all going for that same, um, for the same truth. You know, you want those answers because we're all curious. I mean, that's all this is curiosity because we'll never figure it all out ever.
Okay,
And if
because
anybody says they
they,
have figured it out, don't watch them.
they say a demon, they could probably mistake it for a cryptid creature or something.
Exactly. And the cryptid thing that we're all going through right now with text, that's a lot of the experiments we're doing up there because we don't even know if Bigfoot is paranormal. I like to believe that it is, but again, that's my personal opinion because Bigfoot just pops out of nowhere. He's supposed to be this huge beast of a thing, but yet he has not been seen but maybe by a few people. Never is caught on camera hardly. So he's got to be able to disappear and come back. That to me, that makes the most sense. But to me, it's my opinion. But I believe a lot of the cryptid stuff has a lot to do with paranormal, a lot more than most people think.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm a firm believer on that part, that they
Mhm.
go together hand in
Yeah.
hand.
Well, most of the time you see a cryptic activity, it's around, and it could just be that we see it more around those places because we're already there. We're out looking for paranormal. We may pick up cryptid. Um, but 90% of the people that pick up stuff around something that's already haunted. It's around uh, cemeteries, stuff like that is where a lot of them are captured. So to me, that makes the most sense.
Okay. Have you ever went to a place where people said, "Oh, this place is haunted and haunted," and you go for your investigation and you didn't
Yeah,
have any?
right. We've done that several times. And I think some people they hear their like house creak or something else. You got to be able to find the difference between your house settling and a spirit.
Mm.
And a lot of times people get so scared because they believe they have something, and all it is their house settling. So you got to be able to decipher the difference between paranormal activity and just regular everyday noises. So yeah, we went to several places where it was claimed to be so haunted, but we got nothing. But again, I can go to the Denver Cemetery tomorrow and not get crap. And every other time I've gotten so much. So I think it's just the spirits don't have rules. They don't just, they say, okay, here comes a paranormal investigator. So we have to do this, this, and this. I think they take breaks just like we do. And if they don't want to do something or they don't like you, they ain't going to do nothing. They don't want you knowing they're there. So, and a lot of places stay dormant until somebody comes in and starts investigating. then you're stirring stuff up. So you didn't get any activity, but you stirred it up enough to where the next person that goes can get some activity. So, I mean, it's very hard to figure some of these places out. That's why we go back to certain places several different times. Just because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and you go to the Goatman's Bridge too.
Yes, we love it there.
Yeah, it seems wonderful to go there, but sometimes you didn't get anything, and
Right.
other times it was everything at
Crazy.
once.
Yeah, it's very crazy. And then, we've talked that place up so much, and we've taken so many different channels there, and some people will get some really good evidence and some people won't get crap. And so I just tell them, I can't help what the spirits are doing today.
Okay. Let's just see if I missed something in the chat. Oh, legends. Laura's talking about legends, and there are so many. Do you like legends and looking up?
The Legion and stuff, yeah. I get into all that kind of stuff. I try not to delve too deep into it because some of it scares me. There's so much about the Bible and everything else that scares the crap out of me. And I think right now we're in part of it. Some of the parts that scare me. Um, but yeah, I believe in all that stuff.
Okay. Let me see here. Have you ever been scratched? You or Lainey or
Yes.
anyone?
Um, Miney has gotten scratched several times, and they were deep scratches. Some of them were really deep; they didn't break the skin at all, but it was so red, it almost looked like burns. Um, I have been scratched a couple of times, but nothing real bad. I think Lainey gets the worst of it because she's so sensitive. But I did have that whenever I was attacked. It wasn't a lot of scratches. It felt like knives being stabbed into the back of my head over and over again. And it was so hot. And the pain was just so unbearable that I was freaking out. Like it scared me that bad and it hurt. Like it was full on pain. It wasn't my imagination. And that happened twice in one night at the Denver cemetery. I have been scratched on my ankle at a place that we will never go back to again. But as far as scratches and stuff like that, Lainey usually gets the most of that, and I hate it. But we usually just put holy water over it and sage it, and then it goes away.
Oh, it can go away like right away or the
It
next
can
day.
go away just as fast as they put it there, and then sometimes it can stay for weeks at a time. I think it just kind of depends on who does it and how bad it was.
At the Denver cemetery, what do you think that creature was growling crawling towards you, you and Lainey?
I
Yeah.
believe, in my personal opinion, just from pictures that I've seen and people that I've talked to, I believe it was a rake. Um, and that was one thing that did scare the crap out of me too, because I didn't know if it was because it looked so human like. I didn't know if somebody was there messing with us. I don't know who would have been crawling around, spider crawling across the cemetery naked that late at night. And it being pitch dark everywhere. We would have seen flashlights coming towards us. People need light to get to them woods because it's way out in the country. There's no street lights, and it is dark when you have no light. But whatever that was, it knew how to stay out of the light. It knew how to. It made us so uncomfortable and scared us so bad that we couldn't even say our prayer. So yeah, that was a crazy night, and I know what I saw. I know what Lainey saw, and we both kind of said to each other right then and there what we were seeing, um, just so we would confirm that we're both seeing the same thing. But I believe it was a rape, most definitely.
Yeah, well, I saw the video, and I'm doing research for a scary story
Hmm.
about the rake, and there was a lot of seeings, like people, a lot of people saw one like in their house even.
Hmm.
Um, it was like in the 80s and stuff, and it's so similar to what I'm researching right now to the video. So I'm pretty sure it's a rake
That's what I definitely believe that.
because I also read that it can howl like
Hmm.
a wolf or something.
Yes, and you hear that out there a lot. Um, and we've heard what sounded like something shredding animals apart. You could hear the animals screaming out in pain, and you could hear just like a, it almost sounded like if a wolf was eating something. Those noises when they're mad and they're like just gripping at the stuff. We hear that out there all the time, but then you can hear the animals like scream out in pain, like they're getting shredded apart.
Yeah,
And I believe that it's either Bigfoot or it's the rake that's out there doing that.
yeah, because a rake, that's what he does. He
Hmm.
rips apart. And
Right.
yeah, I saw in my research, I saw that there was a rake that went into a house and shredded apart a little 5-year-old girl there. That
Yeah.
was, uh, you know,
And I think that was what scared us so bad. And I think the only thing that kept it away from us is our lights. Because it seemed like every time it got near the light, it would back off. And so I don't know enough about rakes to know what deters them, or whatever, but it seemed like it did not want to be in the light. And it was very pale, um, almost translucent, had like grayish tint to it. So maybe the light burns it or something. I don't know, but it was definitely afraid of the light.
yeah, I think it's like a night creature, so
Hmm. Oh yeah,
it's the light would blind them, or
yeah,
be fun if it would burn them.
yeah.
And get rid of it.
That would have been
Because
great.
we
Because
don't
yes,
know no defense, how to defend ourselves with that. Like with
exactly.
spirits and demons, well, we got the Bible, holy water,
You just
but
kind of pray and be like, "Don't let that thing come and eat me. Not this way. I'm not going out this way."
yeah,
No,
but for the cryptid creatures, what is to do if you
exactly. And I really don't think there's much we can do other than hope and pray. Um, and that's one of the fears that's in the back of my head every single time we go there is is that thing going to come back out here, or is Bigfoot going to come back out here? We've had encounters with all of it out there. So it is definitely scary.
Okay, guys, so we got about 5 minutes left. If you
Man, these
have it,
hours go quick.
yeah. So if you have any last questions, now is your time. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, Whipped and Cryptid, hello.
Hello,
Long
Wicked. Hi,
time.
Jared.
Jared, Uncle Bardavans,
Go B.
V, Laura, we saw her. We saw her question.
Yes.
Adzi, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Mike Adventures, hello. Hope you're feeling better. Okay. Oh, Bigfoot Aaron, hello.
Hi, Connor.
Okay, let's go down the chat and see if there's any last questions. Mm. Oh, here. Look what V says. I learned a lot. All makes perfect sense. Good.
I'm glad
Joe.
you're here.
And she has a question. How did you become so awesome? Amy said.
Because all of you are so awesome, and I learn well.
Okay, I have one good last question.
Okay.
Um, a new person on YouTube wants to start a channel.
Hmm.
What would be the first advice you would give to that person?
Find a really good community. Um, Make sure you don't find a drama community. Um, if you really want to make a good YouTube channel, you don't want to get mixed up in all that drama crap, because it definitely makes you a joke. Um, find a community, and I have to say, because I'm biased, our community is the very best. Um, but you want to be surrounded by people who aren't afraid to share things with you, who will teach you along the way, um, who want to see you succeed, not just yourself, but they want to see you succeed as well. Um, you definitely want to be around people that are supportive and take advice. That's one big thing too. Listen to people that's been there for a while, and take their advice to heart, because they've already been through a lot of the crap and they know what works and what doesn't work. So definitely build on a good supportive community. Our community is more like family, and I'm very proud of it. But you don't want to get mixed up with the wrong crowds. Make sure your journey on YouTube um, shows the real you. You're not going to be able to continue being fake, and you're not going to be able to keep that act up. So come in being real and being you. Don't try to be something you're not, because people will see right through it.
Wow, that's some great advice there.
Thank you.
So, guys, if you're thinking, if some people are in here thinking of opening a channel or not too sure, well, that was some amazing advice there. It's good. Well, okay. So everybody's agreeing, yes, yes, 100%. Preach it, Twinkie.
You know it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the best way to. And you'll keep your fun doing what you're doing
Yeah.
too. If yeah. Well, okay. So tonight, that'll be it for tonight. And um, I was gonna call her Twinkie. And Paranormal is gonna be live at
Yes.
9 o'clock.
What time are you going live, Twinkie?
Oh, she's right here. So we'll ask her.
Mm,
So for sure, we're gonna see each other over there
yes.
on her channel. And I thought it was her answering. Okay, guys. So on
9
that
Eastern.
note, I want you all to have a 9 Eastern. Okay. And Spirit Box. Oh, guys, you gotta absolutely go there. Can one of the mods post Entity Paranormal's link, please? So
Yes,
the new
definitely, definitely
people
go. She
can
does an
go.
amazing job with the spirit box.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So on that note, I want you all to have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all in your next video.
Love y'all.
Love you all.